I gotta fix the hair. Don't touch the hair. And welcome to a brand new episode of Dylan News. It is 11:59 on Saturday. Oh, it just turned midnight. Look at that. It's now officially midnight, Sunday, June 19th. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, officially, myself included. Blue Green Lantern. This is the last one. 9 Green Lantern core shirts, 9 episodes of Dylan Knows. I've worn one of each of those. So, and perfect ending for it. It's the last episode of Dylan Knows for spring 2022. Summer starts on Tuesday, June 21st. Father's Day, as I said, is today, June 19th. And oh, yeah, someone's birthday is on June 20th. That'd be me. 49th birthday on Monday, June 20th. And then June 24th is the beginning of the Music on Main Street, which is something that happens here in Reisterstown. Hasn't happened for 2 years because of COVID. Is now back where cover bands play for about 3 hours at the middle school. They've got food trucks and it's a lot of fun. And then Saturday the 25th is a flag retirement ceremony that my wife's and my kids' scouts group is doing. And then next Sunday, 1 week from today, I begin, and I love my family. I love my family so much, but I begin my week-long vacation without them. Summer camp starts for, Scout summer camp starts for my wife, daughter, and son next Sunday, the 26th, 7 days from today. They'll be gone until July 2nd, Saturday, July 2nd. And then it's July 3rd is a rest day. July 4th then is Independence Day. Obviously, it's also my family is finally going to have a family reunion. We've been waiting for it for 2 years now to do. So we're going to have close to 30 plus people at this event, including all my aunts and uncles, which is really cool. And some happy news. My cousin is getting married. So I'll learn more about that later on 4th of July as well. She announced it on Facebook yesterday, I believe. So I should say Friday because now it is Sunday. So yeah, a lot of stuff coming up. But I will be, what I'm doing is I'll be going to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. No, Monday, Tuesday. Right? Wednesday. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday. I'll be going to work Monday, Tuesday. Then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I will be here by myself all day without anyone. I think I'm going to do movie marathons. Then Saturday they will come back late-ish, maybe not too late, probably sometime early afternoon, and they'll be exhausted. And then Sunday's a rest day for them. So for at least 3 straight days for 72 hours, I will not have a family around, and I can do whatever I want to. I'll also be able to do whatever I want to at night before I go to work or after I go to work and on Saturday beforehand. So there's that. So that's what's coming up for me. So that's good, exciting stuff. So 49 years Monday. So 1 year before 50. I start the road down to 50 on Monday. So that's good on that. So tonight's episode, we're going to talk about something I've been thinking about since summer starts on Tuesday. And for those who've watched the show, they know how much I hate summer. Well, there was a time where that wasn't the case. I'm going to go in the way back machine and think about that. But I'll think about that. The return of In Dreams, and quite a bizarre one at that. Some deaths, a lot more than last week's, including another comic book creator's death, which would make it the 3rd one of this year, and character actor's death as well. We've got a new EGOT. Samuel L. Jackson makes a comment about something. A Colts safety leaves football for a surprising new job. I'll have some reviews. We'll talk about some anthropology stuff. Sleeping Beauty, Stranger Things. We'll do reviews of Obi-Wan and Miss Marvel, anniversaries. I'm just going to write this down because I know before I forget about it. Sorry, it's about OnlyFans. So yeah, we're talking about that. So yeah, so we got some interesting stuff there. So, and then we're gonna do my first review right now because I'm dying to try this right now, and a couple surprising IMAX movies. This is Mountain Dew Baja Gold Blast of Natural and Artificial Pineapple Flavor Mountain Dew. I haven't tried this one yet, so smells like a pina colada almost. It's like pineapple soda. Excuse me. Not bad. I don't know if I drink it all the time, but I'm glad I got the bottle instead of a 12 pack. I don't know if I drink a 12 pack of it. It's not bad. It's refreshing, stuff like that. So that's good. So there's that. And then there's a new one out. That's a mango blast sort of one that I want my daughter to try because she likes mango stuff now. So that should be interesting to find that. This will be an orange one. Also, I finally opened up the Nitro Pepsi. I bought it about a month or so ago, and it's just been sitting in my refrigerator. So I tried it today. Poured it out, follow the rules. You chill it, and then you just open it and just pour it hard. It creates a foamy head like on a beer. And then there's no bubbles because it's filtered through nitrogen. It tasted like, flat soda for the most part. There was no bubbles. So it was just sort of like, drinking soda liquid. So yeah, it was okay. I mean, again, something I probably wouldn't drink all that often anyway. So yeah. So I can mark that one off. Bing. And then there's gonna be some other Mountain Dew stuff coming up here in a little bit, I believe. I just can't see it right now. So let us move on here. All right. So the end of school came this week for my kids as well. They are off for the summer now. So no camps for them this year. So it's just going to be sort of a hanging out at home. My wife is doing a different shift so that she can come home around 2:30, 3 o'clock, and then they can do stuff in the later afternoon. And I'll come home around 4:30, 5 o'clock. So they'll be out doing their stuff. So that'd be fun. So yeah, that was interesting. Excuse me. Was going to get my grill today. I know, it's the same old story, but my daughter wanted to get her hair cut, so we got her hair cut. I had to mow the lawn, so I mowed the lawn. And by the time everything was said and done, I didn't feel like going and getting my grill today. So we're going to get my grill tomorrow. Rather, I should say today, Sunday. Hopefully, we'll be able to do that because we got nothing else planned for today. And so they were going to take me out to dinner for Father's Day tonight, but instead we went out to dinner on Saturday to Green Turtle for Father's Day. That was nice. So that was nice. And tomorrow I'll grill on the grill something. Don't know yet. I keep saying tomorrow. It's today now. Hamburgers, hot dogs, steaks, something like that. It'll be good. And I don't mind doing it. And then Monday, I didn't really ask for much for my birthday, just peanut chicken, which is fine. My wife will make that. So that's good. So yeah, that's all that's really going on now. So birthday weekend's almost over. Yeah, it's been fine. Saturday was absolutely lovely, gorgeous weather. Oh my God, it was spring's last gasp. If the weather was like it was today, every day I would be in heaven. It was absolutely wonderful. No heat, no humidity. It was in the 60s. I think we got a 70s. Hold on. It was 77. That's for today. So it's going to be a little warmer today. It's going to be 77 today, 79 on Monday, 88 Tuesday, 90 on Wednesday, 82 Thursday, 88 Friday, 88 Saturday, and 90 on Sunday. 88 on Monday, 88 on Tuesday. So it's going to be about normal sort of summer temperatures because, normally when you hear summer, you think it's going to be brutally hot and humid. But if you actually look at what the average temperature is supposed to be for our area, particularly in June into July, it's about 82, 83 right now. It goes up to about 88 in July and August, and then goes back down to like 82 to 80 on September, and then down to the 70s, maybe even higher. No, it's lower 70s in October, down to the 60s in November, and of course 50s for December sort of thing. So that's what's going on with that. So absolutely gorgeous day today. We had the air on yesterday because it was, I should say on Friday. We had the air on Friday because it was brutally hot. It was 97 degrees, which was a record for Baltimore. So we had the air on. And then I kept it on overnight. And when I woke up this morning, it was 75 degrees in the house because the air conditioner was set for 76. So we decided to open the windows because it was so nice out. So turned off the air conditioning, opened the windows, and it was very breezy and it was very cool. And by this time, before I did the start, we had dropped the temperature down 5 degrees in the house to 70, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So I'm very ecstatic. It looks like we're going to have another nice day tomorrow, so that's going to be good. And then also kind of on Monday as well for my birthday, so that's good. So fun stuff. I'll do the deaths real quick because I got a lot of other stuff to talk about here. Comic book creator Tim Sale passed away. He is the artist on Batman Long Halloween, which is one of the best Batman stories out there. He also did the color comics, Spider-Man Blue, Daredevil Yellow, Hulk Gray, Captain America White, I believe. And like that. And then he did also a Superman for All Seasons, which was a 4-issue miniseries about all the seasons. Obviously, his collaborator on all of these was Jeff Loeb. And also his first thing he ever did was Challenge of the Unknown, which I hated when I first saw it, but I grew to really like Tim's artwork. And so he passed away this week. So it makes it the third major comic creator who's passed away this year after Neil Adams and George Perez. So kind of interesting about that. On a more personal note, one of my professors, the one who was my film professor, he was an English professor by trade, but he also did film. I think I had him for two classes. I had him for my film class. I had him for like another bizarre sort of class as well. Gary Adelstein passed away this week as well. We made the Squirrel movie. Me and my friend Pat and Eric made the Squirrel movie under his tutelage. So that was kind of sad to see that. Tyler Sands, a Lone Star, or Sanders, I should say, Lone Star, 911 Lone Star, Fear the Walking Dead actor, dead at the age of 18. I don't know what happened to him, but he passed away. DJ Batman, a local DJ here is down in Ocean City. Also, the nighttime mayor of Ocean City died today as well. My wife has a Frisbee from a DJ Batman show she went to in 2000. So that's interesting. Everett Peck, creator of Duckman, worked on many, many animated series. He passed away this week as well. And the character actor who passed away this week was Philip Baker Hall. You may remember him mostly as his role of Detective Bookman, the library cop on Seinfeld, but he's done a number of shows and stuff like that, other things as well. So rest in peace, everybody there. Disney Plus is busy. They announced a new TV show for Disney Plus, new Marvel TV show, Wonder Man, which is about a stuntman in Hollywood who has superpowers. He also has a connection to the Vision and Scarlet Witch, so we might see some aspects of that. This one is going to be a sort of a breakdown of what Hollywood is like in the MCU, so it should be interesting to see that. Nathan Fillion has been always attached to the role. When it was when Marvel, the MCU came out, people were talking about if Wonder Man's going to come out, who should play it. And Nathan Fillion is like by far the one everybody wants to see doing it. And I think he'd be absolutely perfect in the role. So we'll see what happens. The director of Shang-Chi is the producer of the show. That's probably going to be showrunner and might direct some episodes as well. And a Brooklyn Nine-Nine writer is also going to be on staff as well. So the show already has a brilliant pedigree, and if they can get Nathan Fillion, I think it would be outstanding. And it is, as I said, connected to Vision and Scarlet Witch, so that should be really, really cool if they stick with that as well. Sticking with Marvel real quick, Michael Giacchino, who is a person who does scores but also directs periodically, has been confirmed to be the director of Marvel's Werewolf by Night Halloween special coming out this Halloween. So he came in and said, "Yep, that's me. I'm doing it." The Spot will be the villain in the Spider-Verse 2 animated film. Jason Schwartzman, who is best known for his role in Rushmore, and also was the voice in one of my favorite films of all time, Klaus, I should say, will be doing the voice of Spot. And Spot is a great character, so I can't wait to see how they do that. Okay, so I think that's it for that right now. Miss Marvel episode 2 continued the spectacular run of shows that Marvel's been pulling out also. We get a little bit more into the side characters, including a couple story arcs that have been created for certain side characters, a new character introduced, and a little bit more look at Kamala's powers. So a very interesting episode, fun visually. Can't wait to see where this goes. Obi-Wan episode 5 totally redeemed itself for the not lackluster, but I just kind of found episode 4 to be a little meh. It was great. It was still great, but it wasn't as good as the other ones had been. Episode 5 rectified that perfectly, basically wrapping up a lot of stuff, answering a lot of questions. We basically found out that, early on when Reva killed the Grand Inquisitor, fanboys were screaming and yelling that you're changing everything. It's so stupid. You're doing a terrible job, because Grand Inquisitor does not die until Rebels, which happens way after Obi-Wan. But we find out it was a ruse and he was not actually dead. We also found out that Reva was exactly who we thought she was, one of the younglings that was attacked by Anakin in Revenge of the Sith, and faked dying so that she wouldn't actually be killed, and has honed her craft so that she can get close to Darth Vader so she can assassinate him herself. So Obi-Wan found this out and was able to sort of use her to help the rebels escape from the rebel base. And I found it kind of rough, because I thought that, he was going to give Vader to her by setting up this whole sort of thing where he was going to surrender himself, and then Vader was going to come down, and then he was going to escape, and then Vader was going to have to come get him, but he was going to escape with the rebels. And Reva was going to face off against Darth Vader, but I think he misjudged how strong Vader was, and I don't know if he deliberately knew that Reva was going to get destroyed by Vader. She gets a lightsaber through the stomach, but again, is surviving. So we'll see what happens with that. Plus, it sets up the final episode where Obi-Wan got a communique from Bail Organa asking what's going on. I haven't heard from you. Is everything okay? If I don't hear from you soon, I'm going to go check in on Luke on Tatooine and so on and so forth, and see Owen and stuff like that. And she remembers Owen from when she went to Tatooine in the first episode, and Reva saw this and found out that Vader actually has a son and is going to use that against him, I believe, or kill him to hurt Vader, something like that. So I think Obi-Wan knows this. So we're going to have something interesting happen there. Now, rumor has it that the final episode of Obi-Wan is going to be an hour and a half long. Now, we're not exactly sure. That comes from a Canadian website of a film theater, a theater that is going to be showing every episode in their movie theater at one time. And the runtime has the final episode appearing to be an hour and 33 minutes to fit the runtime. But then someone also pointed out that there is a 30-minute question and answer after the episodes are shown. And some people are saying, well, that's a separate time and not part of the actual Kenobi runtime, because it's a separate thing apart from that. So we won't find out, obviously, until Wednesday, so we don't have that long to go. Now, that reminds me also, Wednesday is also the arrival of Doctor Strange 2, which just came out in early May, about a month and a half ago. Will be on Disney Plus. For those who haven't seen it yet, you can now check it out on Disney Plus for free. When I'm on my own next week, I might watch that I'd rather say in 2 weeks. No, it's technically in 7 days. In 7 days, I might check that out again because I like to see it again. It'll be the third time I saw it. So all good episodes. We did lose Tala, who was the woman who was impersonating the Imperial, and the loading robot who helped them also. They both kicked the bucket in this episode as well. But it was a good episode. We see Darth Vader using the Force. Rey's trying to, fight him with a lightsaber. He's just using the Force to push it around and not getting the stuff. And then he also tried to pull a ship down with the Force. So all kinds of stuff. Plus, we get a flashback to Anakin's training with Obi-Wan. So we get to actually see not young. They didn't de-age the characters, so Anakin looks like he does now. They probably made him up a little bit so the wrinkles and stuff like that aren't there, but he looks much older than he did in the prequels. But still, you had a view of them facing off against each other, so that was kind of interesting as well. Some bad news. Yellowstone National Park is shutting down due to massive damaging flooding, which has swept roads through the park away, has destabilized many of the hills and trails around there. So in accordance to public safety, they're shutting it down. So you cannot go to Yellowstone until they can figure out a way to get the water out and to shore up all this loose stuff, because there's lots and lots of damage. Not nearly as bad, obviously, as the fire from about a decade or so ago, but actually longer than that. It wasn't in the 2000s, it was in the 1990s, like 20 plus years ago. But still pretty bad. And honestly, I didn't really know much about that was going to happen until I started seeing stories about it. Now, something else is happening. Let's see if I can find that story. In Yosemite National Park, which is in California, there has been at least 30 incidences of vandalism, which is absolutely disgusting in a national park like that. People tagging rock formations and natural buildings and stuff like that. So I find that kind of distressing a little bit. So I'm not happy about that. Oh yeah, there's 30 sites in Yellowstone National Park have been hit with graffiti. So that's kind of stupid and awful. Real quick, I'm going to give you a rundown of In Dreams, which is my, not often, but periodically when I can remember a weird dream, I tell you guys just for the fun of it. This one I can sort of understand some of the reasoning for it because of certain things that happened to me over the last couple of days. I don't know if you guys know anything about the back rooms. It is a urban legend about an area that if you fall into it, it's like an unescapable labyrinth filled with all kinds of creepy creatures and stuff like that. Well, this dream I had was sort of like a movie and TV show back rooms, where every room was like a theme about a TV show or movie like that, but there was no one in it. It was just like weird stuff and stuff like that. And for whatever reason, my wife and family decided to throw my birthday party there. And so there were people there, and we're having birthday parties, and there was rain. I don't remember much about that. But then my friend Andy, who is Shock Tour, the Minecraft streamer I talked to you about a couple weeks ago, he was there, and his ex-wife, who's a friend of mine, Joanne, she was there, and she was ignoring Andy. She was mad at him for something, I don't know. So that was kind of funny as well. And my daughter was cutting a elaborate birthday cake. I think my wife and son were off with other kids doing stuff, whatever. Let's see. Hayden Christensen was there, obviously from Obi-Wan. That's where that came from. And we went looking, the two of us went looking for the Beetlejuice 2 room, because I talked about that on my show last week. And we came across two women, a man and a woman, opened a door and startled a man and woman who were looking for the MASH room. The woman gave me her umbrella, and then they found the MASH room and walked in. Hayden and I looked at each other. I put the umbrella down and walked back to the party. So that was just weird. Oh, it's water. Okay. That's weird. It was just this loud, high pitched uh, squeak. I'm assuming it's water. Um, so and the other last thing I remember is when we were walking back to the party, I asked Hayden if he liked Star Wars or Star Trek better. And I said, knowing full well that you are from Star Wars, which do you like better? And I woke up before I could get the answer. So that was my weird in dream sort of bit. So thanks for listening to that. It was a lot more vivid this morning when I wrote it, but when I was writing it down, but now it's sort of fading a little bit. I'm going to talk about this probably for, just a few minutes, just doing a little rant here, and then get back to the stuff. Not really a rant so much as everyone out there knows that I hate summer. I hate summer because it's hot, it's humid, and it's disgusting. That's the main reason why, is because it's so freaking hot. And yes, we have air conditioning in the house, but again, it's not great air conditioning because the heat rises, so all the heat goes upstairs, so it's warm upstairs and cold downstairs. And so it's hard for me to sleep sometimes in the heat. And then, having to drive in the car when it's hot and humid, and working in a facility that doesn't have really good air conditioning all day, and just in the heat, it wears me out. It doesn't stress me out, but it just makes me angry, and I hate the heat, and it's boring too. I mean, look, yes, June is cool because of my birthday and kids getting out of school and scout camp and stuff like that. And then July, the first part of July is really cool because of July 4th. But after July 4th, it just sort of poofs, There's not a lot exciting going on. Obviously people going on vacation, stuff like that, and those are always fun. But, it's too hot to do stuff. And my thing is, another reason why I don't like summer is because when you get to be too hot, you can take off only so much clothes before you're completely naked. And a lot of places will not allow you to be completely naked in their area. Whereas in the fall and winter, when it's cooler, you can add layers and be warm and comfortable, and things will be good. So, and then there's that. And then August, with the exception of my son's birthday, August is one of the boringest months in the world because nothing happens. And it's just sort of just a dull slog of days, and just nothing exciting when you're a grown-up, obviously, But when summer was cool was obviously when I was growing up as a kid, like around my kids' ages, and even before then. Growing up in the 80s and early 90s was my elementary, middle, and high school years. Particularly, my high school years were 2 years in the 80s and 2 years in the 90s. I graduated in 91. So my senior year was 90, 91. My junior year was 89, 90. My sophomore year was 88, 89. And my freshman year was 87, 88. So then obviously that would make 86, 87, 8th grade, 85, 86, 7th grade, 84, 85, 6th grade, 83, 84, 5th grade, and so on and so forth. So, so I would be in school, and obviously school is school, and it ends in mid-June, usually around June 14th. And we were free. I never went to any camps. I think I did Bible school for a week, I guess, at St. Pius Church. But that was just for a little bit of time every day for a week, and that was it. Most times I was out with my friends. We had free reign of our neighborhood. We were riding bikes, and we were playing wiffle ball. We were playing capture the flag and kick the can, and staying out late until we were called to dinner. And then after dinner, we would sit on our porch when it was, as the sun was going down, and just vibe and chill out on the porch. I could sleep in if I wanted to, but I didn't sleep in during that time because me and my friend Craig, we always were trying to be the first person outside to play outside during the summer. So I get up like at 8 a.m. and run right outside. And then when I'd see him later, it's like, I was out at 8 a.m. riding my bike and stuff like that. So we did stupid stuff like that. And, we didn't have a community pool for a while. We did join the Stoneleigh community pool, and we were only there for about a year. Only belonged for about a year. And then just because we didn't take advantage of it as much as we should have, the fact was that it was the only pool in the area. We had to have people who lived in Stoneleigh vouch for us. So I had some friends whose parents knew my parents, and they vouched for us, and so we were able to get in a thing there. But it was also far away from our house, so we'd have to either drive or walk, and it would take a while to do. Well, to walk, obviously, it would take probably about 10-15 minutes to walk to the pool, and to drive, obviously, only about 5 minutes. But there wasn't a lot of parking because it's smack dab in the middle of a neighborhood. It's like there's a neighborhood, and then there's a pool. What was cool about the pool was we would go at night because it would stay open until about like 10, 11 o'clock at night. So we would go swimming, around 8 o'clock, like after dinner, and just hang. And that was always a lot of fun too. We didn't have air conditioning in my mom's house. We had certain rooms had air conditioning, but we had fans in the windows. So I was used to sleeping in the hot air. That's it. So it was just a lot of, it was fun, it was fun stuff. Running around, playing, exploring, reading comics, sleeping late. I think there's a, what's the song? It's in my summer. There's a song that encapsulates everything that I'm feeling. And I can't think of the top of my head. I mean, I'll know it when I see it, but there it is. Yeah, the Bare Naked Ladies song, Pinch Me. If you listen to that, it's about, it's basically about being a kid during the summertime, and having fun and exploring and doing stuff. And, if I didn't feel like playing with my friends couldn't play, I would find something else to do, I would, go for walks around the neighborhood. I'd ride my bike, I would go, just places, go to the movies sometimes, there was a old place called McCrory's, which was like a Target. And when Return of the Jedi came out in 83, my friends and I would walk to McCrory's, which again was about like a 10-minute walk from our house. And we'd buy trading cards of Return of the Jedi and take them back and trade stuff. And then we'd be like, okay, let's go get some more. So we would trade, eat the gum, and we'd walk back, buy some more, come back, open it up, see which ones we need to try to get a complete set of the cards, go back. We did it like 3 or 4 times in one day. It was wild. So, but yeah, that was back when it was, there was, with kids, they have no responsibilities like we do. We have to go to work. We have to make dinner. We got to clean the house. We got to do laundry. We got to do everything like that. Kids, particularly when I was growing up, we just did whatever we wanted to during the summer. And back then, my parents would let us be by ourselves, and we would go out and be outside on our own whenever we wanted to and do whatever we wanted to do. And it was fun. And then if we wanted to go home and not play anymore or get out of the heat or whatever, go in the house, we'd go upstairs. I'd read comics. I'd watch TV, movies, whatever, and just, chill out there or eat ice cream or popsicles or whatever. And I wouldn't do anything. I mean, during the summer, it was just nothing except fun. I could sleep as late as I wanted to. I could take naps. I could watch TV. I could read. I could go outside and play. I could just, chill in the backyard and do nothing. And I don't think I ever really got bored that much. So that was, and that's obviously probably where the change occurred, is after graduation from college, when you're officially a grown up and you have to, work and do stuff. That summer after college was fun because I was looking for a job. I couldn't find anything right away. So I didn't actually get a job until like September, October, for my first job. That lasted 3 days, and that was a disaster. And then I got the job at the bagel shop a few months later. So I actually didn't work for like 6 months for real, for more than like 3 days, until like December. During the summer after college, that was like the last year where things were, quiet. Now, I also, when I was in high school, I worked at the grocery store. I also worked at the comic book store when I got older as well. I had a paper route, so I still did some jobs as I was getting older, high school age particularly. But still, I had a lot more free time as well to do whatever I wanted to and do things and enjoy the summer and stuff like that. But then, obviously, as soon as you're starting to work and you don't really get a chance to do anything else except grown-up stuff, that's when summer starts to get boring and the hot weather starts to get to you. Now I do have to mention there was one summer, I have to go back to summer 96, I believe. I was working in the bagel shop, and I had a nice summer fling for a while there, which was good. Yeah, I kind of blew that a little bit. I could have done a lot more with the girl, but it was just more of a one night sexual sort of thing, and that was fun for a while during the summer. But after that was that was really about it. So that was when I liked summer, and then just as I said, just it became a chore. I mean, I didn't have a break like kids have after during school. I would kill to do what my kids are doing now. Obviously now it's a little bit different now where the kids aren't out playing as much. They're more indoors looking at their tablets, and that's fine. I have no issues with that. You can spout off whatever you want to about anything you want. That's fine. I don't care. But it's fine for us. But it would be nice just to sort of chill at home and not have to deal with work. But we're starting to slog to work. It's hot weather. It's going to be yucky. And that's why I am just let's just strip through to fall when everything is good, because with fall, there's a lot more cool stuff going on. Temperatures cool down. Football starts. Baseball is okay. And the Orioles are a really interesting team this year, but it's not as interesting to me as football is. So we got football, we got cold weather, we've got the holidays. There's a holiday every month. Labor Day is not that big of a holiday, but September is an interesting month because it's still kind of summery, so it's not great, but at the same time the kids are back in school and it feels like things are progressing. The year is starting to come to a close. You can feel the temperature starting to drop. And then you have, you've got Labor Day, you've got September 11th, you've got first day of fall, and then you get into October, which is by far my favorite month, followed shortly by June, I think, is up there because it's June, my birthday, and so on and so forth. But October is still my favorite month of the year, not just because of Halloween, but because football's in full swing, the World Series is occurring. Temperatures are much cooler. The leaves are changing. Yeah, it's Father's Day. Yep. Thank you. That's my wife. But yes, I actually started right on Father's Day. It was funny, right at midnight. So that's October. It's also my wedding anniversary. So there you go. But October is just, for me, is just one of my favorite months. And then November is, you start to see the decline into winter, which is fine with me. And then you get to Thanksgiving, which is one of my favorite underrated. Ooh. Underrated holidays. I got some special for breakfast, looks like. As I've talked about before in the show as well. And then, of course, then you get into the full bore of Christmas in December. And then, boom, the worst month, one of the worst months, I would have to say it is now the worst month, in January hits. And it's just sort of okay, dead of winter, back to school after the holidays, back to work after the holidays, after the excitement of the holidays. You're starting a whole brand new year thinking, oh, God, we're going to have to go through spring and summer again and getting warm and stuff like that. Plus we got to get through winter, and I love snow also, but and that's something else I could make a story about too, is when snow was cool, when I'd have to go to work and shovel walks and stuff like that. So I think January is one of the worst months. I can't say August is too far behind it because my son's birthday, it gets a break over January. And then you've got April can be bad if Easter isn't in April, and then March is okay. My wife's birthday, St. Patrick's Day, my sister's birthday, my nephew's birthday, my father-in-law's birthday. Now, April has my mom's birthday also, but as I said, if Easter is in March, there's nothing in April, and then May is just, kind of bleh as well. So that's just semantics. That's me. But yeah, so we're at the point now where summer starts on the 21st. And from that point on, the temperatures are going to be this hot, oppressive, humid, disgusting stuff for 3 months into September, stuff like that. But there's a light at the end of the tunnel. It's way far away since we're still in spring right now, but it's there, and it's just a matter of getting to that point. So summer used to be fun, used to be cool, but I think it's the change in me having to do more grown-up things and stuff like that. So yeah, so I'm done with my rant there. Didn't quite go as expected, but that's how I do stuff. Let's move on now to some more interesting stuff here. Chris Evans said that returning as Johnny Storm in the Fantastic Four would be a much easier sell than returning as Captain America. Now, for those who haven't seen Chris Evans' role as Johnny Storm, check out the Fantastic Four. There were 2 movies that came out in the early 2000s, which actually were not that bad. Were actually really entertaining. And the highlight is Chris Evans' Johnny Storm, which got him on the radar to be Captain America. And I can sort of see that part because, in Captain America, he's like, the boss. He's the leader. He's the head Avenger, where Johnny is the goofy sidekick who doesn't have to, make decisions and just, be a stud and fly around and show off and do stuff like that. And I can understand the mindset of wanting to do that role again, because it's a lot easier and you don't have as much riding on your shoulders, and you can become, the fun character in the group. So does that mean he's going to be Johnny Storm in the Fantastic Four MCU reboot? Hell no, it's not going to happen, because it'd be weird to have someone that looks like Captain America also be Johnny Storm. Now, however, if you want to do a multiverse story where you bring the Fantastic Four from, what we saw in the movies into the MCU, like they did with Doctor Strange, stuff like that, and have that be a thing, then yeah, I can maybe see that. And I think someone made a really interesting point was, during Endgame, how much fun would it have been to see, instead of just all the Avengers from the MCU and stuff like that, have the multiverse come in and see all these different variations of Spider-Man and Captain America and Fantastic Four, and have, Chris Evans come in as well. So it's kind of funny. So we'll see. We're going from what's successful with Marvel to what sucks, which is Snyderverse. And I have to keep digging on Snyderverse because I absolutely hate the Snyder Bros because they are toxic masculinity, and their leader, Zack Snyder, who I used to have respect for, whenever the Snyder Bros were attacking people and doing all kinds of damage to things, he did not say one goddamn word, and he made himself appear to be a god. And then on top of it, he's like, yeah, there's a director's cut of Justice League, and the original Justice League sucked ass, but mine would be so much better, and there's a director's cut out there, so just wait till you guys, we need to get this, we can show it. And all the Snyder Bros are like, oh, he's got it one made, so let's get it done. So they became toxic, and they got Warner Brothers to say, okay, Zach, release your, give us the Justice League, your director's cut for Justice League, and we'll put it out in the movie theater, see what happens. And he's like, oh, I need $1 million to finish it. No, you fucking said it was done. You said, I have a director's cut right now ready. And then you're like, no, I need $1 million to change stuff. And that turned out to be like into $5 million. And you basically remade your fucking movie. So you can fuck right off, Zack Snyder, you bitch. Anyway, it's because of his toxicness and stuff like that. It's showing in his casting of different things. We already know about Amber Heard and her Johnny Depp stuff and her casting as Mera and Aquaman. That was a Snyderverse casting, and that didn't turn out too well. Now, did it because she's an abusive asshole bitch who thinks that, was trying to play the victim when she actually was the one who was the tormentor. Right now, there's talk that she will be removed from Aquaman 2 or recast, and she refuted that, so we don't know what's going to happen. Aquaman 2 has been moved to next year, so we're not even going to know what's going to happen until next year. You can very easily do it. They did it when Kevin Spacey got into trouble and they removed him from the movie that he had just made and put Christopher Plummer in its place. It'd be really easy to do. I mean, you wouldn't have to act against anybody. All you have to do is go to green screen, get dressed up in Mara's outfit, and then just read her lines. And then the thing you do is they can cut Amber Heard out and place the new actress in, and voila, there you go. Now, you might want to have Jason Momoa there to see if there's a chemistry thing to read lines to her, but I doubt, that would happen. So we'll see what happens about that. And then don't let us get started about Ezra Miller, who is just getting into more and more trouble, and they are using their Instagram to taunt the police and other people about trying to catch them. And then they deleted their Instagram because they're insane. That's another Snyderverse casting. So guess what, Snyderverse? Let's see. Let's take a look at Marvel's really bad actors who were disasters. There is maybe one, if you can't, Terrence Howard, but that was really more along like he didn't get along with Robert Downey Jr., so they beat him. He didn't do anything crazy like abuse somebody or attack people and then taunt the police about it. No, he just didn't fit. And so, yeah, that doesn't really count. So there's 0 Marvel people who are in bad situations. Let's look at Snyderverse stuff. You've got Ben Affleck. When he was doing the Snyderverse stuff, he was a abusive alcoholic who said that marriage to Jennifer Garner was a nightmare. And she's the mother of his kids and was the only one that tolerated him during his abusive alcoholicness and helped him get better. So he's a fucking twat knocker for that. You've got Ezra Miller, who we just talked about. They are insane, attacking people and taunting police, stuff like that. You've got the abuse of Amber Heard. There's 3 right there. We've got Ray Fisher, who just doesn't know when to quit. Yeah, you had a bad toxic thing. You had a bad experience. We get it. But you keep beating the dead horse. We understand. Move on with your freaking life, okay? You don't need to keep bringing it up and making comments every 5 minutes, okay? You made your case, and you won for the most part, so move on. Do better, So there's another one right there. Gal Gadot, who I love and adore, but she made some comments about Israel, which doesn't affect me personally, but a lot of people were unhappy about that. I don't think that really counts as much. It might be a half point for that, but Gal Gadot myself, I think she was one of the bright spots. Cavill's a bright spot. He just had a bad director directing him as Superman. I think if under the right circumstances, he could be a really good Superman in a Superman franchise. And my idea was to do a Crisis on Infinite Earths, but instead don't actually show it yet. You can set up for it and go down the line as a movie down the line, but you can basically, if you want to rework the DC universe like they're talking about, what you do then is you just set up a bunch of films with new characters and also, minor characters. Like my ideas are like a Zatanna or a Fire and Ice one, and Legion would be 22 now, Legion 22, and Green Lanterns and stuff like that. And then you could do a Superman one with Henry Cavill, and basically he'd be completely different. He'd be in the proper costume, the red and blue stuff. He'd be in the colorful, futuristic city of Metropolis, and his character would be a lot better than the one that we see in the freaking Snyder movies. And there are hints throughout all these movies, because they're connected like the Marvel ones. There are hints throughout these movies of something massive that happened that changed all that, but none of the characters remember what happened. But there's like Psycho Pirate could be the connective thread through all of them, because he's the one in the DC universe who remembers the actual crisis happening and spouts off about it whenever. Animal Man's another one I'd do a movie with also. And Justice League Dark too. And so you could have little bits and pieces of flashes about, the crisis happening and stuff like that. And that would be the destruction of the Snyderverse. And you can bring back the good stuff from that. You could have Henry Cavill in there. You could have Gal Gadot. You could have Zach Levi's Shazam. You could have The Rock's Black Adam in there as well, because he's still technically a part of the Snyderverse. But you could bring them over and have them be kind of rebooted. You can get a new Flash. You can get a new And Momoa's not too bad either. So I don't like the casting personally, but he's a good enough guy and he seems to enjoy the character. So bring him in as well. You can get the majority of them coming, but you can get rid of your Amber Heards, you can get rid of your Ezra Millers, get rid of your Ben Afflecks, get rid of any of the other toxic characters that are in there. You can bring over, pick and choose who you want into your universe. Same with, the Batgirl movie that's being made. I don't think is part. I think is part of the. I think has. I don't. Is not. I don't know if he's part of the Snyderverse or not. You bring her over as well if it does successful stuff like that, and just have them just as if nothing happened, as if they'd been there the whole time, and they have their rogues gallery. You don't need to do their reorigins as well. You just enjoy a rollicking space comic thing, and then eventually things can get unlocked in certain movies, and you can lead to a massive Crisis on Infinite Earths thing if you want, and you can. You don't even have to bring back the actors from the Snyderverse. You just say, "Oh, that was destroyed," and you can see these actors who came over, how they fought and won, and stuff like that, and then have the new characters and stuff like that. You have multiverse, stuff like that. So that's what I would do. But yeah, so basically the Snyderverse characters are basically reflections of their asshole leader and his Snyder Bros army. So I'm glad things are progressing on getting them destroyed. Yeah. Speaking of Gal Gadot, her Cleopatra movie, which has been getting a lot of flack from a lot of different people, has moved from Paramount to Universal. So maybe they'll actually be able to make it now. I'd be interested to see it. I think it'd be pretty good to see that. Switching from Marvel to Star Wars, Hayden Christensen, who's been doing a fantastic job as Darth Vader, because that is him in the Darth Vader suits in the Obi-Wan movie, or TV show, I should say, and will be in the Ahsoka TV show as well, came up with an idea that he wants to do a Darth Vader TV series, which I think Ewan McGregor jokingly said the whole movie series is about you, Hayden. You don't need to do a TV series, but he made a good point, is that we can do a Darth Vader series based it on the comics, because the comics, there's a very successful, been a number of successful Darth Vader comics, which have hit him at different times in his career. And particularly if you want to take a look at him after Star Wars, like I think it wasn't Charles Soule, it was Kieron Gillen was the first Darth Vader writer, and his series introduced Dr. Aphra and was set after Star Wars, where the Emperor was very angry with Darth Vader that the Death Star got destroyed and that there is, this new Jedi out there, and Darth Vader has sunken in the chain of command and trust between him and the Emperor, and he's got to win back that trust. So basically, I think he makes a deal with the Emperor. It's like, you can send all the bounty hunters you want, or everybody you want to hunt me down and kill me for punishment. But if I destroy them and make my way back to you, I will be back in your good graces. And the Emperor was like, okay, let's do it. And that's what the series is about. And the Dr. Aphra is a great character that they introduced, who intersects with Darth Vader. And we've already seen Black Kyrgyzstan, which is the Black Wookiee who was in The Mandalorian. So we already know that's out there. So I can see that happening. And then Charles Soule, and that would take place after Star Wars. So you could have a series set after the Star Wars. All the other ones seem to have always been before the Star Wars stuff. Let's do one, or right after Return of the Jedi. Let's do it in the middle of the original trilogy and see what happens with that. Because I think the Charles Soule series that he started writing takes place, I think, after Empire, where he goes on the hunt. No, I guess technically you could say in Star Wars he gets hunted down by the Emperor, but also I think he discovers that Lucas is his son, and he's got to, he does investigating into who this Luke Skywalker is, discovers it's his son, and tries to find him. And I guess Charles Soule stuff, I haven't read any of his stuff, but I guess his stuff might be more after Empire, I think, and what led to him going from there to Return of the Jedi. So I'm not exactly sure, but I think that would be a really good idea. There's a lot of material you can glean stuff from. Hayden Christensen's got a rebirth, much like Andrew Garfield did, so it will probably do really well, and it might be entertaining if you get like Deborah Chow, who's doing the Obi-Wan thing, to do it as well, because she's been showing this Darth Vader as he should be. So probably a bad idea, because I still got about another hour to go. My voice is getting a little rough. So that's good about that. So speaking of Marvel Comics, they have gotten the this is already known, but they have the rights to Aliens. They got the rights to Predator, so now they're making comics with Aliens and Predator in it. They just got the Planet of the Apes license to do comics for them, and a new comic series was introduced this week, coming out in early 2023, which looks like to me a Greg Land cover of Planet of the Apes comic that's coming out. So that'll be interesting to see how that works out and how they do that. So yeah, it could be pretty interesting about that. Grant Morrison, who is an up and down writer for me. His Animal Man was outstanding. His Batman was just sort of okay for me. Some of the other stuff, his Doom Patrol, I didn't quite understand it when it first came out, but I think I need to reread it and get a better understanding of it. He does the Invisibles. He's done a whole bunch of stuff, and some of his stuff is good, and some of his stuff is just mediocre and blah. Well, he is saying he would like to replace Russell T Davies when he retires again from Doctor Who, and I wouldn't mind seeing what a Grant Morrison Doctor Who would look like. I think that might be pretty fascinating to see what he would end up doing with Doctor Who. I think that would be a really cool a really cool thing to look at. So see how that is. Back to the Future, one of the greatest movies of all time. A VHS video copy of Back to the Future sold for $75,000. Now, I have boxes of VHS films. My mom has a ton of VHS films. So if Back to the Future VHS film could sell for $75,000, I wonder if any of these others could as well. Is this sort of like going retro again, sort of how people are finding their way back to vinyl again after CDs and digital? Interesting. Top Gun Maverick has soared past $800 million at the box office and is the highest grossing movie of all time for Tom Cruise, which is, again, hugely surprising. But if you start thinking about it, it's like, no, that sounds about right. So good for him. Guy Ritchie, who is known mostly for marrying Madonna and directing tough guy films, has been picked by Disney to direct the live action Hercules movie that's been in the works for a while. One of the best memes ever was showing Chris Hemsworth and Tom Hiddleston as Hercules and Hades. And I think that would be a good casting if they decide to do that. They won't, but it would be interesting to see that if they did do something like that. Season 4 of Snowpiercer, which has been fairly successful, will be its last season. So they've run their course, they've told their story, and they're going to be moving on after the season. So good for them. Trigun, which is an anime I haven't heard of for a long time. I knew a lot about it when I worked at Diamond because people were ordering the Trigun manga. There is no Trigun manga anymore, but the anime is coming back with a new reboot or whatever you want to. So I don't know if a manga's going to be following, but Trigun will be back. So that's a good one. Pokemon Film Festival will hit Japan this summer, and the Japanese love their Pokemon and their Pokemon movies. There's a ton of them out there, so the film festival is just going to be just them showing the old Pokemon movies, I guess. So that's a pretty neat idea. Speaking of which, a life-size statue of Mewtwo has appeared in Tokyo as well to promote the new Pokemon Go event that's going on right now, which is a crossover with the trading card game. There's a new trading card game out now, and excuse me. And the Pokemon Go is doing an event based on that. So that's kind of interesting. Chucky Season 2 is adding a reunion of sorts. There was a great movie done by the Wachowskis called Bound. It was their first movie that they did together. And it starred Gina Gershon, Joe Pantoliano, and I forget the blonde. Let me just look this up real quick. Jennifer Tilly, yes, is a hugely sexual lesbian sort of film, and it's outstanding. It's a noir, and also it's very sexy with lots of beautiful woman on woman sex, lesbian sex, outstanding. But Jennifer Tilly is a cast member of Chucky already. And so now they're adding Gina Gershon and Joe Pantoliano for season 2 of the Chucky series on Sci-Fi. So there's a kind of a Bound reunion there, which is kind of cool. And I don't know, this guy Sutton Stratton is an actor as well. He's been cast as well in the second season too. Welcome to Derry, the prequel series to It, which is going to focus on the rise of Pennywise and his history of coming back every 30 years and causing mayhem. The writer's room has now been open, which basically means now that they are writing the scripts for the prequel, so we'll be seeing more about that. HBO Max, seeing how Game of Thrones has always been a big moneymaker for them. They've got a prequel to Game of Thrones coming out in August. Game of Thrones is still a big streamer for them. Well, they announced, because of, I guess the success of all these other shows that are on streaming as well, and they need more content, they announced that they will be doing a Jon Snow series, which will be a sequel to the Game of Thrones show. But it'll focus on Jon Snow and his return to guarding the wall, which was a lot of people were upset about in the finale. One of the many things. But the show will be focusing on him. Now, it was just announced this week, so don't expect it for at least a couple years. I'd say 2024 at the earliest, probably. Because, now they've got to do the scripts. They got to film it. They got to edit it. They got to get the casting together. They got to do all that stuff. So they're probably just starting the writing of the scripts now, getting the storyline set, what they're going to do, how they're going to promote it, what the story's going to be about. They're going to try to figure that out, and they're going to have to write the scripts, and they're going to have to get the actors, they're going to have to get the production set up, they're going to have to film it, they're going to have to edit it, special effects and all stuff. So maybe I doubt they're going to start filming this anytime soon, maybe at the earliest this fall or winter. Which you could potentially say they could hit in the last half of 2023. It takes about a year to do the editing and all this stuff. So we'll see what happens about that. But there's that coming up. Where did I see that? Nicole Kidman is going to produce and star in a Hitchcockian Hitchcockian-esque thriller called Holland, Michigan. So that's an interesting thing. Nicole Kidman in a sort of noir, sort of Hitchcockian sort of film could be really brilliant. And she's a fellow June 20th birthday, so I gotta love that as well. We have a kinship, even though she was born before me, but we were born on the same day, as was John Goodman, John Mahoney, Lionel Richie, Olympia Dukakis. At one time, I thought Cyndi Lauper was, but her birthday is like the 22nd now, I think. So we'll see. Paul Walker will be getting a posthumous star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I guess that's good. I mean, the Walk of Fame now is sort of for anyone, and anyone can really get one, and not everyone deserves one. The Walk of Fame should really be more for the MVP, Hall of Fame sort of actors and actresses and directors and stuff. But now anyone can really get one. I mean, hell, that fucking asshole who tried to destroy our country with a coup, insurrection, and wants to be a dictator for life, has his own star on the Walk of Fame, and I think that's ridiculous. And then there are people like, I think Carrie Fisher doesn't have one. So, people who deserve it over people who don't, but anyone can really get a Hall of Fame or Hollywood Walk of Fame. I'm nothing wrong against Paul Walker, but I mean, he has a very small sampling size of the movies he's done. And it's just the fact that he died tragically early in his life, that they did this. So, but that's just my opinion. Good for him, good for his family. It's wonderful. It's good. But the Hollywood Walk of Fame used to be like their Hall of Fame. And honestly, if I'm to be totally honest, I wouldn't have voted for Paul Walker into the Hall of Fame. I wouldn't have voted for a lot of people who have stars, even actors and directors, stuff like that I like that have stars on the Walk of Fame, I wouldn't have probably voted for them if it was up to me, but it's not. It's a process where anybody can get who's Hollywood. It has to be an actor, writer, director, musician, TV, whatever. They just have to go in. They have to get a like 500,000 signatures or something like that. They have to have sort of at least a background in film, like a history, like stuff that they've done, movies, TV shows, whatever. They have to have a pedigree, I should say, is the proper word for that. And then, you have to pay like $25,000 or $50,000 or something like that to get it. So, and we'll see. But good for him and good for his family. I'm fine with that. Statue of Sally Ride was unveiled at an aviation museum. Sally Ride was the first woman in outer space, and the fact that it took until the early 80s to get a woman to outer space is a disaster. But the fact is, she was the first one, and now women are going to space all the time. So good on that. So she absolutely deserves a statue in front of an aviation museum. She's one I would think deserves that statue. Again, look, Paul Walker, did some good movies, stuff like that. But again, I don't think he doesn't have an Oscar. Hasn't really gotten a lot of really critically acclaimed films. But again, I don't want to get into much more than that because I don't want to get into trouble. NASA is saying that both Voyager probes are starting to power down, which is not surprising since they've been running now for close to 50 years, way beyond what they were supposed to. And they're way, way far away from us now. So it was bound, and they knew it was going to happen. They thought it was going to be sooner than later. But the fact is that they've been living on borrowed time and playing with house money. And it's the amount of time that it was going to get caught up to them. Tom Hanks is considered to be one of the nicest guys in Hollywood, and he still is in my eyes, but this story went viral because of stupid reasons, because he is Mr. Nice Guy, and this shows him in not a nice light. But he and his wife, Rita Wilson, were walking through an airport, and people were crowding around him, stuff like that. One person pushed Rita Wilson down to the ground. Tom Hanks turned and didn't slap him, but pulled sort of Will Smith and said, get your fucking hands off my wife, cursed and stuff like that, and picked her up and got her through this crowd. And it went viral because oh, Tom Hanks, he's Mr. Nice Guy, but he used the F word. And everyone is saying, oh, wow, this is horrible, and stuff like that. It's not. His wife was assaulted accidentally. But, you can't know what stars go through because you're not one. You're not famous. So, these stars, particularly people like Tom Hanks, who've won multiple Oscars and have been in multiple, multiple, big budget films that have done successful work, and is considered to be a nice guy. And then all of a sudden he has a human response to his wife, who he's been married to for 30 plus years, getting injured or knocked down by groups of people trying to get close to him, is going to piss you off a little bit. And who knows what else was going on with that. Maybe they had a bad flight. Maybe someone's sick. Maybe someone's hurt. You don't know. And he's just having a bad day. Everyone's allowed to do that. So people were taking it way out of proportion. Thankfully, I think the story has disappeared because it's a non-story. He didn't assault anybody like that a-hole Ezra Miller. He didn't abuse anybody like that a-hole Amber Heard. He wasn't a toxic masculine person like Zack Snyder and his Snyder Bros. No, he was a human person who saw his wife, who he loves dearly, get thrown to the ground. She might be hurt, but not badly. But, that's going a little too far. It's like, you need to fuck off. And I'd be the same way. I'd be like, yeah, get the fuck away from Tom Hanks and his wife. What the fuck are you doing? You don't have, because he's an actor, it's not your right to intrude on this guy's life and, push his wife out of the way to get a fucking autograph for yourself. You're not the center of attention. And that's one of the biggest problems with people today, is that they don't believe anything bad is happening unless it happens to them. If people complain about gas prices. Oh, gas prices are so high, whatever. It's awful. Everything's awful. Everything's because it's affecting them personally. COVID, COVID's nothing. I don't have it. I'm not going to get a shot. Doesn't affect me in any way. And then when it affects them, they're like, oh my God, I should have given a shot. Why didn't anybody get me a shot? Well, because you said you didn't want one, you fucking asshole. It intruded upon it affected you. So you finally decided to take care of it. You can just fuck right off. Okay. Fucking twat knockers. So Tom Hanks, I have no issue with what you did. You didn't punch anybody. You didn't assault anybody. You just tell people to get the fuck away from you. And I'm surprised you hadn't said it before then, because I could, no matter how much I'd like to be popular and famous and, an actor, director, football player, whatever, the dreams that I have where I'm a success, as it were, I don't put into context what their life is like. People always want your autograph. People want to take pictures with you. The paparazzi always trying to take pictures of you. People, digging through your trash and, crowding outside your building and just waiting for you to come out, and it just, I could not imagine. And you wonder why these famous people buy these massive mansions on lots of land and build lots of gates and walls, because they want some semblance of privacy. And that got me going as well. And I've had this issue before, and this goes for sports people also, who've spoken out about things like, be it politics or war or things that are going on in the world, and the response of the people who are opposite their opinion is like, well, you're just, go back to acting or go back to sports and leave the politics to, other people. You're just supposed to be our monkey to, play for us. And we're supposed to, we're paying your multi-million-dollar contracts. You're not paying their contracts, by the way. You're going to their games. Yes, you could say maybe technically you were, but the rich owners of these are paying these things. And yes, some of the money comes from the revenue that comes from the stadiums and buildings where you play, but the majority of it comes from the pocket of the owner, because they also get the money from the TV deals and stuff like that. But these are people. These are American citizens. They have a right, as everyone else does, to vote, to protest, to say whatever they want, and do whatever they want within the legal means. And to tell them, don't talk to us, just go back to doing what you're doing. No, they have every right to protest and say what they're saying as well, because they are American citizens too. So fuck right off. Some happier news. The San Diego Zoo welcomes the first aardvark birth in years. So we had baby aardvark in the San Diego Zoo. Snow has hit Maine today, or rather I should say yesterday, on Saturday. The higher elevations, obviously, but it was snowing in Maine on June 18th, 2022. It was snowing in May of 2020, so here in Baltimore. So it's climate change, and people just ignoring that as well. No, they're morons. Nerf has a new mascot named Nerf, who looks very frightening and is getting a lot of comments about on the internet. So it's basically looks like a human form, legs, arms, and like a head, but made up of Nerf darts. It's kind of special. Almost looks like Oogie Boogie and the Bugs, really, from Nightmare Before Christmas. So Stranger Things 4 is the most streamed thing in the United States right now, probably the world, actually. Volume 2 is due out July 1st, which is the last 2 episodes, one of which is like 2.5 hours long. Supposedly, the final episode of the season will end on a cliffhanger, because they do have one more season, which they announced will have a time jump in their new season, because actually the actors have grown up. So there will be a time jump. So there's going to be some kind of cliffhanger ending to season 4 that will lead into season 5 whenever they get around to making that. So, so if you've been a fan of Stranger Things, you're in for a very upsetting time because when things end on a cliffhanger, people freak out, and I don't understand that. So I got a lot more to go, so let's get moving here. Pop-Tarts and Oreos always have new flavors all the time. Well, Pop-Tarts has Snickerdoodle flavor, which is like a cinnamon, sugar sort of coating on their Pop-Tart now. And Oreo has a Neapolitan Oreo, which will have chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry cream between a vanilla Oreo cookie. That could be pretty interesting. I like to try that, actually. Could be pretty good. So those will be coming out probably this summer. Little Caesars has officially been announced as the official pizza of the NFL. Pizza Hut was the official pizza of the NFL. It no longer is because they lost the bid, and Little Caesars came and did that. So you'll probably be seeing a lot more Little Caesars commercials with NFL players, stuff like that. I get Little Caesars every Friday. I know a lot of people don't like Little Caesars. Well, they can just F right off. It's hot and ready. It's actually better than some pizza, but like if you go to local pizza joints around here, their pizza is greasy and it's hard on the stomach. This is just sort of a very, normal pizza, and it's good, and the kids love it, and it's cheap. So you gotta love that kind of stuff. Squid Game season 2, we were talking about, was that it was going to be happening. It is officially official now. It is a go. They're going to start working on it probably sooner than later when they announce that it's official. That means they're getting ready to work on it again. But that's not all. Netflix has decided to keep going with the Squid Game stuff. So they've created a Squid Game reality TV show, which is going to obviously probably be like Squid Game, except instead of people dying, it's going to be people getting kicked off the set or something like that. So, yeah. Internet Explorer is officially shutting down also. That used to be my browser of choice, but now it's Chrome that I have, which is what I'm doing this on right now. So if you have Internet Explorer, it's not going to work anymore. Sorry. I've always been a big Tiki Bar fan. And I also talk about all kinds of pool toys and stuff like that. Well, there's a new floating Tiki Bar you can get now for your pool or lake or whatever, which is an officially, you can have somebody give out drinks and stuff like that. And you can sit at it and have your drinks, stuff like that. So there you go. We got our first trailer for the NC-17 Netflix film Blonde, based on Marilyn Monroe's life, which is going to star Ana de Armas. I'm intrigued to see it because of the NC-17 rating. I'd like to see what that's all about. And Marilyn Monroe's life was complicated and interesting, so it'll be worth it. And Ana de Armas is a pretty good actress as well. Kung Fu Panda, the Dragon Knight TV show, gets its first trailer and a date of July 14th on when it will be out on Netflix. So if you're a fan of the Kung Fu Panda, he has a new TV show coming out. There you go. Tom Hardy shared a picture of the cover of Venom 3, which he is co-writing with somebody. So Tom Hardy is co-writing the new Venom movie, which he is obviously interested in reprising his role. So obviously, should be interesting. Neil Patrick Harris has become, I believe, the first American. I think there was an American Doctor Who at one time, but it's the first American actor to appear in a Doctor Who show. He has cast in a villain role in the new Doctor Who 60th anniversary special, which is shooting right now with David Tennant and Catherine Tate. And he's got this sort of 1920s tuxedo top hat, sort of with weird makeup, like a stage show person makeup thing, character going on. So we'll see what that's all about. He was spotted on set with pictures with him interacting with David Tennant in this full regalia that he's wearing. So we'll see what happens. Season 2 of the Monsters, Inc. TV show, Monsters at Work, is set to arrive in 2023. So it was renewed and will appear in 2023. They had like a little trailer kind of setting it up. No new stuff is shown. Obviously, it's just like, hey, if you remember all the scenes from the first season, get ready for the second season, sort of thing. Hunger Games gets the prequel movie. Hunger Games prequel casts Ashley Liao, Mackenzie Lansing, Jerome Lane, Knox Gibson, and Anne in her housing in roles. I don't know half of these people, so that's good. I don't know most of these people, honestly. Only Murders in the Building season 2. Steve Martin, Martin Short, and that singer, I forget her name. Anyway, the new trailer showed up. This comes out on the 28th, which let's see would be Tuesday 28th. So see how they run. Gets some pictures of behind the scenes movie starring Sam Rockwell and Saoirse Ronan. Sam Rockwell is one of these great actors who just disappears in his role and is usually a character actor, but can sometimes pop up in the main role. One of the movies I'm going to watch during my film festivals when I'm home by myself next week is going to be Moon, which is Sam Rockwell's big thing. Jennifer Hudson, late of American Idol, and has had a very successful career. Just made her career get even more successful. She is the newest EGOT member. Now, for those who don't know who EGOT is, or what EGOT is an acronym for Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony, all the big entertainment awards. And people who are EGOTs have won at least one of all of those, has won an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. And the Tony Awards were this past weekend, not this weekend, last weekend, I should say. And Jennifer Hudson won for producing a play, but she still won it because she produced it, that won Tony Award for, I guess, best play. So she is now officially EGOT. She got her Oscar for that one movie based on the musical with Eddie Murphy. She got a Grammy because she released some albums after American Idol, and I don't remember what her Emmy was for, but she did. I guess she did a TV movie or something, and she got the Emmy for that. So congratulations, Jennifer Hudson, for being the newest member of EGOT. So good on that. Guitar man John F. of They Might Be Giants, one of my favorite bands, is recovering from being hit by a drunk driver in New York. Didn't know that happened, but now I do, and he's fine. He's recovering. He wasn't hurt badly, but still, being hit by a drunk driver is not fun, obviously. Being hit in general isn't possible. Yes, my wife about that. Samuel L. Jackson announced that he no longer has a desire to chase Oscars. He'd rather do movies that are more entertaining. He'd love to reprise the role of Mace Windu and use lightsabers and cut up bad guys, and also would like to be Nick Fury taking on supervillains and these types of entertainment things. Now, he says that now, but that if the right script comes along, whatever, he'll go after it. But it's not the first thing on his list. He wants to do fun films now, I guess. Ethan Hawke, after his fantastic villainous role in Moon Knight series from Disney Plus, has discovered, hey, you know what? I kind of like this new streaming TV series sort of thing. So he signed on for a crime mystery series from Showtime called The Whites. So that could be interesting to see that. I love Ethan Hawke. He's one of my favorite actors. And I'm glad to see that he is embracing streaming and TV shows and stuff like that. Peyton List, who I don't know much about, but she's a hot chick, plays a teenage ghost who's stuck in her high school after she was killed, and is now stuck there forever, and never grows old, and watches as all these other people come through, and she's consistently going to be in her high school. And we all know, according to Buffy, high school is hell. So that's kind of a backward sort of thing, I guess, as well. Ironheart is continuing film. That's going to be a new Marvel series, probably coming out early next year. The actress who plays Ironheart and the character of Riri Williams is going to appear in Black Panther 2. But anyway, it's filmed right now. They cast Westworld's Murray Montana, I guess is his name, whatever, in a recurring role as a lead role. So that'll be interesting to see whatever that is. One of the hottest movies that's due out next year is the Barbie movie. And Ryan Gosling is going to be playing Ken. And the first photos of him as Ken came out, and he looks like Ken. So much like how, oh God, what's her name? The actress who plays Harley Quinn. Playing Barbie. God, it's killing me. I hate that I can't remember these names. Harley Quinn. Here we go. Margot Robbie. So, yep. She's playing Barbie. Well, apparently a version of Barbie is the same as Ryan Gosling is playing a version of Ken also. There's going to be multiple versions. So it could be interesting. They have a really interesting cast as well. And it's going to go up against Oppenheimer, which is another film that's got a lot of really good casts. We'll see what happens. Matilda the musical, based on the Roald Dahl book. And then Danny DeVito made a movie version of it. Then they made a musical about it. And now apparently it's going to be made into the musical is going to be made into a movie that's going to show up on Netflix this holiday season, probably in December. That's going to star Emma Thompson as the villain, and Lashana Lynch, I guess, is the saintly woman, I guess, that takes care of Matilda. And I forget the actress who plays Matilda is a brand new person, but it is the musical. The first trailer for it came out this week, so that'd be something to look forward to. That looks entertaining. So if you like the musical, you'll be able to watch it in the movie format on Netflix in December, right around the holidays, stuff like that. It's perfect timing. It'd be more perfect time was around Thanksgiving, but that's besides the point. A 104-year-old woman fulfills one of her lifelong wishes to meet a penguin, and she absolutely loves it. Loved the penguin, so she's enjoyed herself. A woman and her Down syndrome son were forced to evacuate from Ukraine after the Russian illegal attack, I should say. And Putin should be hunted down and killed for international crimes, as should be his conspirators, the former asshole president, and all of the Republicans who are cheering it on now should also all be executed as well. But that's besides the point because they're all fucking traitors. Regardless, this mother and her Down syndrome son had to leave Ukraine because of the war. Her Down syndrome son wasn't sure why they were leaving and didn't want to leave because it's his home. It's all he knows. So the mom says, we have to go to Amsterdam because we're going to meet your favorite wrestler, John Cena. And that was just a way to get him to go. So it's like, oh, good, I'm going to do this. So she's got to figure out a way to, I guess, convince him that John Cena is waiting for him there. Well, the story got out to John Cena, and John Cena, being the nice guy that he is, flew to Amsterdam and met them. And there's video of him. And he did, again, John Cena is actually one of the nicest guys in Hollywood out there now too. And he did it. He showed up, he hung around the guy, had a lot of fun with him, spent a lot of time with him. It wasn't just hey, I'm here, bye, I'm leaving. No, he spent a long period of time with him. So good on you, John Cena. You are one of the good guys. Your boss, however, one of your former bosses, however, Vince McMahon, who runs the WWE, is now stepping down as the head of the WWE because he's being investigated for some sort of $3 million hush fund money scheme thing where he paid off a woman or something like that he did bad things to, something like that. I'm not exactly sure the whole gist of it, but he's in hot water right now and he's stepping aside. So, switching to something else, Colts safety Kari Willis has retired at the age of 26 because he realized that football wasn't his true calling. His true calling was to become a priest. So he's said goodbye to the world of football and has become a priest right now. So that was his lifelong dream. And congratulations. I'm glad you discovered stuff like that. And that's fine. Again, you don't owe anybody anything. It's your life. Fuck all people say, why aren't you playing football, you dumbass? No, it's your life. You do what you want. And you'll probably be able to do a lot more, a lot better work as a priest. So go with God. Ryan Grantham, on the other hand, he's a Canadian actor who appeared in Riverdale and Diary of a Wimpy Kid, killed his mother and threatened Canadian Premier Justin Trudeau. He was discovered with a number of guns and bombs, stuff like that. He got busted and he's going to go away for a long time. Unlike here in America, he would be declared a hero and put on a pedestal by the Republicans and the NRA. So glad you were caught in Canada for threatening to kill people and actually for killing somebody also. Your own mother, you fucking moron. I hope you rot in hell, you piece of shit. The new Titanic, we've been talking about that they've been building this new Titanic now for years. It's supposedly supposed to set sail this year. I don't know if it is or not, but it's going to follow the same route as the old Titanic. And so it's sort of putting yourself to chances like, well, what if there are icebergs? They want to prove that the Titanic today is in much better shape than the one in 1912. They've got more lifeboats and it's better, it's built better. And so they think if there's an iceberg that it will not sink it. So we'll see. But you're just playing with fate now, aren't you? Another ship, a legendary Spanish galleon shipwreck, was discovered on the Oregon coast. So hey, that's something like from the Goonies. So it actually happened. All right, so here we are, 1 hour. We might make this before the 2-hour mark, so we'll see. America the Beautiful, a Disney Plus not drama. It's a documentary series about our country and the beauty of it, which is something that I've always been interested in, and I'm going to probably check this out. Gets a trailer, and it's going to be narrated by Michael B. The show's going to be narrated by Michael B. Jordan. Don't know when it's coming out. Let's see if I can find the date on that, but I just saw the trailer for it. Let's see if they have a date for it, because it comes out during the week that my family is gone. That'd be great. America the Beautiful. America the Beautiful. Disney Plus. There it is. It just says coming in 2022. I don't think it has a date. Oh, no, date announced. Oh, it's going to be released on July 4th. Okay. That makes sense. America the Beautiful. So that might be a fun thing to watch on 4th of July, actually. After the family reunion, obviously. So that's pretty cool. So good on that. So July 4th, we're going to see the America the Beautiful. It might just be the first episode, really. But that'll be good, though. So it'll be fun to see that. Knock at the Cabin, which is M. Night Shyamalan's new film, has finished filming. So we'll probably see that. I doubt we'll see it before next year. So we'll probably see it sometime next year. I think the guy who plays Drax, Bautista, is the main actor in that one, I think. So good on that. Scream 6. Last week I told you that Neve Campbell will not be coming back due to a money issue. They are lowballing her, and that is really kind of stupid because she's the main thread through the 5 Scream movies, and lowball her for a 6th one is absolutely ridiculous. But before we get to that story, well, we already talked about the story, but there's a secondary. Well, I'll just say it right now. Matthew Lillard, who was at one time one of her boyfriends and also is a friend now, and a co-star in the original Scream, came out and defended her to the public, saying that, it's the most, obnoxious, revolting, horrible thing to lowball her because she's the one who basically is Scream, and you're screwing everybody over because of that. And he did it in his Matthew Lillard type of way, which is outstanding. So good on that. But we got a little bit more announcement about it. We know it's coming out March 31st, 2023. So obviously it's filming now, and it's going to take place in New York City, which is something different. Plus it's going to be more gory and violent than the other ones. So I don't know if I'll check it out, but being filmed in New York City is an interesting twist on things because we haven't really seen anything like that before. So that might be pretty cool. Now, I mentioned Harley Quinn not too long ago. She is turning 30 this year. The character was created by Paul Dini in the Batman animated series and got her own comic spinoff, and now she's one of the more popular characters. But she turns 30 this year. So DC, whenever there's a big anniversary for one of their characters, they always do like one of these 100-page square-bound books with multiple stories from different creative teams. They're doing this for her. It's coming out in September. Also, some more Harley news. Joker 2, which we discussed last week, has been announced with Joaquin Phoenix coming back as Joker. We got a little bit more information about it this week. Joker 2 is apparently going to be a musical. No joke. And they are going to be casting Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. Now, I'm not sure I want to see a Joker musical. But if you are going to do a Harley Quinn character in a Joker musical, getting Lady Gaga, who's a good actress and a good singer, to play the role is genius casting. But having Joker 2 being a musical just doesn't seem right. So that's a to be continued, because I'm intrigued, but also I'm not the biggest Joker fan. And a musical with the Joker, I don't know. There's also going to be a Batman animated feature set in Mexico called Batman Azteca. Will be coming from HBO Max, which is a brand new Batman in more of a Mexican sort of garb. So that's good on that as well. Neil Gaiman and Mark Buckingham are going to be writing a brand new Miracle Man comic coming in September, October. Miracle Man has had this really long, weird history, and it's a famous character that written by Alan Moore, but now having Neil Gaiman come back into comics since he last wrote Sandman, and have Mark Buckingham, who's got this really clean style doing a Miracle Man. I've never been the biggest Miracle Man fan, but a Gaiman Buckingham series might intrigue me a little bit. So we'll see what happens. Talked about the Stranger Things season 5 time jump already. Glass Onion is the name of the Knives Out sequel. That was announced this week as well. And it is going to be coming out in December, I think. So the holiday season could be November, could be December, but it will be out this year. So Knives Out 2 is officially going to be out this year on Netflix, because they paid a lot of money to get it. And we're going to see that. And it's going to do good for them, I have a feeling. Old Guard 2, the Charlize Theron movie, The Old Guard, based on a comic book by Greg Rucka, was so successful they made a sequel of it. It starts filming this week, so good on that. I haven't seen the original Old Guard yet. I'm going to probably do that on my list on my film festival, because my film festival plan for next week when the kids and wife are at camp is to watch all movies that I haven't seen. So 3 days worth of movies I haven't seen all day for the most part. So I might take a break here to play some Fortnite, but I can eat in front of the TV. And since I'm the only one home, I can watch till midnight, 1 o'clock if I want to, and then go to bed, get up in the morning, and then do the whole thing over again. So we'll see what happens about that. Let's see what else. Anything else? Happy Death Day 3 is coming. I've continued to talk about how I'm impressed with Blumhouse, and Jason Blum, I guess, is the guy who runs it. And I'm impressed with him. He seems to have been keeping his nose clean, so he's not one of these asshole producer type people. He's got a really good business plan, making very cheap horror movies for $1 million, $2 million that are only going to gross maybe $10, $11 million, but you're making $10 million profit, which is goddamn fantastic. And you're creating some interesting stuff. Death Day is, a take on Groundhog Day, but instead of it being the worst day over and over again, this woman's getting killed consistently on her birthday every day. And she's got to figure out how to stop the killer and stuff like that. So, and then the second one sort of went into sort of multiverse and alternate dimension sort of thing. So it'd be interesting to kind of see where the third one's going to go with that as well. So that is in the works and is going to be coming really soon, probably. A Maryland native becomes the youngest actor to win a Tony for lead actor in a musical. So someone from Maryland did this. He played the role of Michael Jackson in a musical based on Michael Jackson's life, and he won best lead actor in a musical. This won his first Tony, and he's the youngest ever to win it. So good on that. I have no idea what that says. Oh, Ginger Seal is an outcast in his colony. So there's a seal that is not the typical gray white color. He's sort of a reddish orange color, and he's an outcast in his own one. There's Matthew Lillard, protects Nev Campbell. There's been rumors that people have been wanting this to happen, and now it's official. Idris Elba is in talks to be the next James Bond. Don't know if he's just in talks right now. Don't know if it's going to happen, but it makes kind of sense. Justin Lin is going to direct the live action One Punch Man. I guess that's the reason why he might have left the Fast and Furious franchise. Paddington 3 gets a title, Paddington in Peru, and is going to be directed by Dougal Wilson and is going to be filming next year for probably 2024 release. Cinnamon Toast Crunch rolls cereal. So instead of just the Cinnamon Toast Crunch squares, you actually get cinnamon roll things as well. This is the newest food out there now. Real Genius, one of the best movies of the 1980s. It's very hard to find a Blu-ray copy of it, so I have this cheap old DVD copy of it, not a very good copy of it either. Well, they announced that September 13th, we'll see the release of an Ultra 4H copy of the film plus the Blu-ray of the film, and it'll include the balloon chair scene that everybody saw in the trailers, but was not in the movies. It's finally going to be put back in either the movie or put in the extras as a deleted scene. And they're also going to release a secondary version of the film that was shown on broadcast TV with alternate takes. So that could be an interesting, see how that, but it's the fact that I'm going to be able to get, now I don't have an Ultra 4H DVD player, but they do have a Blu-ray that's a regular Blu-ray. I'm going to get a copy of that. So I'm going to get that. That's on my list of what I'm going to be getting like that. Strange tsunami-like quakes have been shaking some stars in our galaxy. That's the more and more you discover weird stuff about our galaxy, the more and more it makes you freak out. Anthropologists believe that an ancient human species can still be alive in a wilderness in a place called the Flores Islands. I always thought that maybe that's what the Bigfoots were a ancient species of man that was still existing. 900-year-old jars found in Jerusalem turn out to be hand grenades used during the Crusades. So the Holy Hand Grenade was a real thing. So that's kind of funny. There is a blind river dolphin has been discovered. A river dolphin has been discovered who's blind. He's one of the rarest animals in the world right now. A group of Panamanian monkeys are starting to use tools. So people are saying that they've entered the Silver Age or something like that. So they're starting to actually use tools. So that's interesting. So they're evolving, which could be kind of scary also. Actor Nico Sands has joined Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Now, obviously, we know that stopped filming, so he's filmed with them, but we're finally figuring out more and more about the characters that are in it now. BTS, the great K-pop band that my wife absolutely loves, is taking a break. They will not be releasing any new albums for a little while, so we'll see what happens. They're not quitting, but they're just not going to be on tour. They're not going to make any new albums. They're going to take a little break from their life and try to get themselves back into place. I'd say give them a couple years. They'll probably be back around 2025, I would say, if not before then. Or they'll create a brand new BTS band because these guys might be aging out right now. Captain Crunch, DC, Superman cereal, and Flash Cinnamon Crunched flavor are out now. I think it's Super Berry Superman and like a berry cinnamon crunch thing for the Flash. So those are new cereals that are out now. Sleeping Beauty has been discovered. A 2,000-year-old skeleton has been discovered with wearing a skirt and holding on to a makeup kit. So that's kind of interesting. And now I got our last half page, and then we will be done, son. Charlie Sheen blames his wife, Denise Richards, for their daughter creating an OnlyFans. Dude, I really don't think so, Charlie. You are a messed up man and you've got all kinds of issues, I think that's probably part of the reason why it was you. The Equalizer 3, starring Denzel Washington, will be reuniting with his former co-star Dakota Fanning, and they worked together in Man on Fire. That was when she was a young girl. Now she's a woman, so we'll see how that works out. Ollie Pop, which is a soda brand I've never heard of before, has created a banana cream pie flavored soda that's going to tie in with the Minions 2 movie coming out in July as well. Sriracha hot sauce has a shortage going on right now, and it could last all summer. I'm okay with it because I don't like hot sauce, but I know the Sriracha people are losing their freaking minds. The Last of Us, season 1 on HBO Max, based on the computer game with Pedro Pascal, has finished filming as well. So we'll be seeing that probably next year. It's going to be your next big HBO Max thing, or that's what they're hoping for anyway. First time in St. Louis Zoo history, a cheetah has given birth to 8 healthy cubs. So that's good on that. Video has surfaced of the robotic Disneyland Spider-Man character, who you have a regular actor who plays Spider-Man, and then you have him jump behind a building, and then they release a robot who's supposed to spin in the air and then land and then disappear. There's video of this robot flying through the air but not spinning, and then just hitting the ledge and just falling apart. So that's kind of funny. It is kind of funny. An experimental dating series has been announced for Amazon, which is kind of an interesting premise where it's called The One That Got Away, that sort of thing. So what they do is they interview the members who are going to be looking for love, and they might talk about a previous past love, someone they loved in elementary school or middle school or high school or whatever, but either never got involved with or was involved with, but they broke up because they were too young, blah, 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 whatever. So I'm just listening upstairs. So it sounds like I'm just going to go do a pokey stop, but okay. Or maybe she's getting stuff from the van. I don't know. Anyway, I wish I'd go to bed though, because I just want my own time, it was after the show. But oh well. So where was I? Oh yeah. So basically, they talk to the contestants and they talk about, people that they loved. And as I said, people that they were obsessed with, but never asked out, people they asked out, but turned them down, or people they did date. And, they broke up very quickly because they were too young and stupid or whatever. So what they do now is they're in their 20s, maybe early 30s, possibly looking for love, whatever. So they bring back their first loves or whatever, and see if they're also single, obviously, and then see if the two of them can reconnect. So kind of interesting thing. They've been talking about this video game for a couple of years now. It's called Stray. It's where you play the role of a cat, walking through a post-apocalyptic sort of town, whatever, and you got to solve crime, stuff like that. But you're from the viewpoint of a cat. You're 4 legs. You're like a regular house cat sort of thing. It now has a date to be coming out in July, but only on PC and PlayStation. So I will not be able to play it on the Switch, but it will be coming out though. So maybe eventually it'll come out where it's supposed to. Super rare white killer whale has been spotted swimming off the coast of Alaska. I've been telling stories for a long time now about these all white creatures that have been popping up all across the world. Well, now we have another one. Mountain Dew soap. So you love Mountain Dew so much that they've made a soap actually out of Mountain Dew. You can actually now lather yourself up in Mountain Dew. That's a little excessive, I think, to me, but that's besides the point. An orphan baby zebra and rhino calf have found each other and now are the best of friends. 2 people were rescued after falling into a tank full of chocolate in Pennsylvania. They were trying to reenact Willy Wonka, probably. Petition to have Morbius come out for a third re-release, I should say for a second release, has hit like 15,000 signatures. It's just trolling. They're just like, we were gone that weekend, so come back out again so we can go see it now. No, you're not going to go see it. You just want to say, ha ha ha, we made a joke. You're not going to make any money. So that's kind of mean and whatever, but it's out there. Paul McCartney, whose birthday was yesterday, the 18th, he was in Baltimore last weekend for the first time since he was with the Beatles and performed a really good concert from what I've heard. Coca-Cola has announced a Jack and Coke can. Jack and Coke is one of the most famous drinks you can get at the bar. It's a Jack Daniels mixed with Coca-Cola. Now you can get that mixture into a can now at liquor stores. Google employee is suspended after claiming that the company's AI has a soul. That's kind of interesting and kind of scary at the same time, if it is true. The JFK QAnon psychopaths are back. They're saying this time for sure John F. Kennedy is going to come back and put Trump back in the White House. Yeah, that didn't happen again either. But it's amazing that people can spend, don't have to work. They can spend like weeks down there and just wandering around Dallas. So 2 Spielberg movies are going to be coming to IMAX this year. E.T. is celebrating its, 92, 2002, 40th anniversary. So it's coming back to IMAX. It might be interesting to see that in IMAX. But the one I want to see in IMAX more often is Jaws is coming to IMAX. But there's no, it came out in 1975, so it's not a anniversary or anything like that. But it's for the first time ever they are releasing Jaws in IMAX. I think I kind of want to see it in IMAX. I'll be out in September, so that might be maybe I can call out a day or take a vacation day. We'll see, and go see Jaws at the IMAX theater because we have one over here at Owings Mills, so that'd be kind of interesting. Anniversaries is the 35th anniversary of Predator, which is still considered to me also to be one of the best action films of all time. And 40 years of Grease 2, which is a cult classic film. I've never seen it, but people say they like it better than the original Grease, which I find highly unusual. But it has a young Michelle Pfeiffer in it, so that might be worthwhile to check out. Finally, we're going to end on some archaeological stuff. 1,300-year-old Mayan corn god head has been discovered in Mexico. Obviously, not the real head, but it's some sort of statue or whatever has been found. And a 220,000-year-old mammoth bone has been discovered in the UK. Bone bed, I should say, has been discovered in the UK. So that is your news for this. Now, June 19th, 2022, last weekend of spring, Father's Day. My birthday's tomorrow, Monday, June 20th. Next week's episode of Dylan Knows. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. As I told you at the top of the show, my family is going to camp starting on next Sunday. And we're doing a flag retirement ceremony on Saturday. Do I wait and do my show on Sunday when they've gone? Or should I do my show on Saturday like I usually do? And then Sunday, I can start an early movie festival and then go to work Monday and Tuesday and then do whatever in the evening, play Fortnite or whatever. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, have my movie marathons again. And then Saturday, they're back. So I haven't decided yet. So, I mean, I'll probably do my show then. So it'll probably be maybe next Saturday, I think, after the flag ceremony. Because I don't know if I think since I will have, depending when they leave on Sunday, which I think is going to be fairly early, I'll have a full day. I can do whatever I want. So I might start a movie marathon. Then maybe I'll do movies that I've seen a million times. So, or maybe ones I haven't seen for a while, like check out the new Spider-Man movie or whatever, or check out Doctor Strange 2 or whatever. So we'll see. But yeah, I guess I will do a show on next Saturday. So yeah. So I was going to put here for next week's show, birthday. First day of summer. So there we go. I'm done. Happy Father's Day. Hopefully, it'll be a good one for me. I'm going to get my grill. Hopefully, I'll let you know next week if, oh, no, I didn't get my grill. If I didn't get my grill this week, I'll probably just order it sometime during the week and have it delivered on Saturday or whatever and not even worry about it. I'll have it in time by the time I leave. All right, y'all. Enjoy yourself. Happy Father's Day. Enjoy your weekend. Bye.